Good morning or evening, wherever you may be. This is Kevin from My Personal Meat Cutter. Let me show you how we can make you My Personal Meat Cutter. Okay, what we got today is a beef shoulder clod. This is what it looks like. This is a beef shoulder clod. Now, anytime you go into a market to become a meat cutter, this is what they use to give you a block test. And a block test is how much money you can make me off of this piece of meat. Now, it's two pieces of meat. You have your top blade right here, which is the top blade. I bring it down when I cut it. And this is your shoulder. All right, so let me show you how you do this. Now, when you go into the market to do the block test, you have to, really pay attention. You don't want to open the meat on this side with the manager standing right there watching. You want to open the meat on the fat side. That way you don't cut into your meat. All right, you use the back of your knife, just slightly open. This is your beef shoulder cut. This is what it looked like coming out of the pack. All right, now, most guys start flipping it around, trying to trim that fat up and all that. You don't need to do all that. This is what we're gonna do. You see this right here? We're gonna clean this up. I'll show you how you do that. Right here is like a way to separate the fat from the meat. You just wanna come down and clean your muscle off. Remember, not too much meat. Don't want to cut into the meat. So you just clean the fat off. It's nothing. Now, the shoulder clod starts right here. You want to cut. You want to start cutting from this way down towards, see this right there? You want to cut on that angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this right here, so that angle will be right here. And the first thing I'm going to do is cut this, angle it up. Now I've angled it up. Whereas though, it's going on, this is the piece I cut off. And now I got the angle, whereas though it's cutting this way. You gotta cut towards the top blade. Now, once you pull this first piece off, this is when your meat manager's gonna pay attention. He wanna know what you're gonna do with this. So when you pull this first piece off, the first thing you wanna do is stew it up. It's nothing but a bunch of meat, but it's about money. So he wants you to stew this up. That's how he know you'll know. This one's gonna tell him you know what you're doing. Make some nice stew out of this. And this is how you pass your block test as a meat cutter. So the only piece I'm throwing away is this. The rest I got stew on for you. That's not the only stew I'm gonna get, so I'm gonna put that in the tray over here. And the next piece you want to cut off that angle that I cut. The next piece you want to cut is the shoulder roast. See? All right. Cut that shoulder roast off. This is the shoulder roast. Now I'm gonna trim it up. Clean the fat off all that. Trim it right here. Now you have the shoulders. Next, you want to come right here where you see this little fat at, because this is your shoulder steak right here. This is your shoulder steak. So you want to cut that, trim that, save you a lot of time. Yep, just do that up. There's your shoulder steak. All you do after that, just steak it up. Steaks all the way down to the angle. You can cut steaks all the way down to this angle if you choose to, or you can stop about right here and cut that last piece of roast. So let me steak this real quick. What your shoulder steaks look like. A couple more of them. So now once you get it right here, this is when you know your shoulder steaks is running out. This last piece, you'll see it start to get smaller. That's how you know your shoulder steaks are running out. And you're getting close to where your top blade starts set. See the little bone, line bone. This is where your top blade starts at. So with this last piece, I'm gonna just take a roast off of it, and that will be the end of that shoulder. Last shoulder roast. Now you got this piece left, which is your top blade. Now with this, you just want to see this little line. You want to just cut it off right there, right where that line started is where your top blade started. Now remember, you got to stew all this out of there, so throw that out there. Now you back to what you call your top blade. See? So the top blade look at. And remember, you start right here on the top blade. You see where the gristle at right here? That's where you want to start at. Right there where that gristle at. Just cut it. Now this is where your top blade at. Now on the top blade, you want to clean the bone tissue off. Remember the bone tissue. Definitely want to clean this off in front of the meat man. You don't want him to see you leave that on him. And you want to be cleaning it close. Don't be cutting into the meat. That's pounds you taking off. So you clean your top blade. So you got all the bone tissue off. All your bone tissue off. Then you're going to clean your back off. Now cleaning the back off is really easy. Because you can just take your knife, bend it like this, take your knife and just push the fat off. You know, it'll come off, flake right off for you. You know, you can see it. They're a little tough right here, but it'll flake right off. You know, that's how you get the fat off the top leg. Real simple. It takes practice though. You have to practice this. This is not something I learned how to do overnight. Now, once you get all that fat off of your top blade, you can just throw that away. It's no difference. There's your top blade. Now, you want to start off by cutting your top blade steaks. Remember, you want to make them even and consistent. You know, it's the top blade. Now, if you want an extra credit from the meat manager when you're doing this, to see if you really get money, what you do is you cut your top blades down to here, and you ask them, do y'all sell flat-iron steaks? Because a flat-iron steak is nothing but taking this gristle out and just making 2 steaks square. You've seen me do that before if you want to see it. But I don't need flat-iron, so I do that another time. But flat-iron steak is nothing but taking the gristle out of the top blade piece. So if you want to make a good impression in front of your meat manager, make sure you cut up enough top blades to make a tray and then flat iron it. And he'll really know you know what you're doing. Now that is how you cut a shoulder clod for a meat block test. Now let me show you what you got here. You have, this is the trimming that you should have left. Now this has to be stewed up, stewed meat out of that. Whatever you can get out of that. But it shouldn't be no more than maybe a tray or half a tray of stew. You get, I got 2 shoulder roasts, which is 1, 2, and 3 trays of shoulder steaks. And then I got the top blades, and that's what I got out of there. And that's all you get out of a shoulder clod. So, watch and see what you got. Subscribe to the channel and learn more about cutting meat and becoming your own personal meat cutter. And save your family a whole bunch of money. Shoulder clod is really good meat. Try it out. So subscribe to the channel, hit the button. Check me out. My personal meat cutter.